Mike, you have been breaking a lot of news lately. And today we're going to talk about a couple of your huge Notre Dame football recruiting predictions. I don't think I need to set it up any more than that.
Yeah, let's dive into this. So the first one, we've been talking about Rodney Dunham for I feel like every week now. This spring, Darren, like we're just talking about him every week, previewing this visit. Now we're going to talk about it. So Rodney Dunham, 6'4", 215 pounds, might be a little bit bigger, might be an outdated weight, but number 19 overall player, number 3 edge. He's a 5-star prospect in the 2026 class. On3 ranks him on three's own rankings, have him as a top 10 overall player. Visit to Notre Dame. First time since last April. So for a while there, I was like, is Rodney Dunham not really interested in Notre Dame? Usually you follow the visits, right? Like, how often is a kid visiting? That's going to help you determine how interested he is. It hadn't been in a while. He gets to Notre Dame midweek last week. And or was it at the weekend? Yeah, over the weekend. Tremendous visit, Darren. All of the boxes got checked. Just a great time for Rodney Dunham and his family. The academic part was huge, as we talked about last week. 5-star with glasses. That's a good sign. It's like a half joke. But anyways, like the academic part was huge. I wrote a little bit more intel. You guys can find it at blueandgold.com and a couple different stories. But yeah, it's just looking good. It's looking good. He has some official visits set in June, but I personally don't think he's going to wait until June. I think that Notre Dame impressed him so much that it's just kind of be a matter of time, just kind of dotting I's and crossing T's. We will see, but I did log a prediction Sunday morning, the day after his trip. So yeah, it was a weekend trip. The day after his trip for him to end up landing at Notre Dame, and other industry insiders have since followed suit. So yeah, went very well. I've heard some people say Notre Dame or Duke. Okay, Duke's an in-state school, but it's a basketball school. I don't think Duke fans would disagree with me on that. And then I've also heard Notre Dame or Georgia. Georgia, obviously a football powerhouse, but not an academic powerhouse. It's cliche, but Notre Dame has the best of both worlds. And I think that's why it is, so highly thought of in the Dunham household. So I do like Notre Dame to land Rodney Dunham. And then last March, I logged a prediction for Joey O'Brien from Glenside, PA, LaSalle College to end up at Notre Dame. At the time, it was a projection far out pick. We're talking pot of gold day last year. I did this pick. At various times of this cycle, I felt good about it, maybe not so good. Good about it, not so good. Right now, great. He was a midweek visitor for the Fighting Irish last week. Got to see Notre Dame's first practice. That trip went very well, and I didn't log a pick because, again, I already did, but it was On3 Steve Wiltfong predicting Joey O'Brien to land with the Fighting Irish, and he previously had a prediction in for Penn State to land Joey O'Brien. So this is a top 100 overall player, 6'4", 180 pounds, could play receiver at the next level, but Notre Dame recruiting him as a corner or safety. I think they may even prefer corner. When you watch his tape, he really does look good as a corner. So yeah, look, this one's not done. He's supposed to be going to Michigan soon, I believe. He's got official visits. I'm not as convinced that his timeline is like, I'm gonna pop now compared to Dunham, where I feel like he could commit sooner than later. But still, things are looking up for Notre Dame and Joey O'Brien. So these are two A-list priority, top of the board targets. Dunham a 5-star, and Joey O'Brien, someone who I think will be in the 5-star discussion. Not by the end of the cycle, but I think like soon. He just dominated at a 7-on-7 tournament with a lot of On3 guys there, as well as other national media outlets and whatnot. So Joey O'Brien is definitely going to be in that discussion. So this 2026 class, everyone's up in arms. Oh, it needs to get better. It's starting slow. Like, listen, you have all these personnel changes. Notre Dame focused on the national championship run, and then started spring practice later because of it. So it's like a lot of schools are starting spring ball March 4th or something. Notre Dame's 2 weeks after that. Things are starting to kick into gear. You're hearing a lot of good buzz about the Fighting Irish right now.
All right, Mike, let's talk about the weekend that was for Notre Dame when it comes to recruiting.
Yeah, so let's just go through like last week and some of the other guys. So obviously Dunham and O'Brien visited last week. Well, who else was on campus? What can we tell you? Ian Premer, the number 4 tight end in the country, he was at Notre Dame, and from what I gather about this kid is that he's not like, I love recruiting. Like, I don't think he's going to put out a top 10 to a top 3 and then drop a commitment date. And I don't think he's going to do that. I bet you one day he just commits. That's going to be Ian Premer. Kansas State might be considered the team to beat. He's, a local in-state kid. He's from Great Bend, Kansas. But from what I was told, Notre Dame did a really good job on his visit, and he's expected back for an official visit in the summer. So that's Ian Premer, one of Notre Dame's top tight end targets in the 2026 class. Aiden Pouncey, you guys, this, if that last name sounds familiar, it should. The twins in the NFL, for a while was Mike and Marquise Pouncey. I want to say second cousins, and then of Aiden Pouncey, a Notre Dame safety target in the 2026 class. And Notre Dame had offered Ethan Pouncey in the 2020 class, a defensive back. He signed with Florida. And then Jordan Pouncey, this was before my time covering Notre Dame, but it's in the 2017 class, committed to Notre Dame, and then flipped to Texas, I believe. So Notre Dame has offered 3 Pouncey brothers here. Maybe the third time's the charm. Aiden Pouncey, 4-star, again, safety, had a good visit at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's now top contender, and expect for the Irish to host him for an official visit. Javian Osborne got to campus last Tuesday and stayed through Wednesday to see spring practice. And this one went really well. Top 100 overall player, number 8 running back, according to the On3 industry ranking from Forney, Texas. One of these deals, Darren, we talk about this all the time. Like, some kids, they're like good Notre Dame fits, right? They got really good GPAs, like just very smart young men, very personable. But, you're from Forney, Texas. You haven't visited Notre Dame. I don't really know what to think about Notre Dame's chances with you until you visit. You get up to campus, loved it. I think Notre Dame's in the pole position for him, at least like a co-leader. I hear that Michigan is definitely a team to watch, and I believe he's going to be visiting Ann Arbor soon. It's tough to remember all these things off the top of my head, but Notre Dame is definitely emerged. Fantastic visit. Jawan Sider, I keep hearing from sources, man, he is the real deal. Can we just talk about for a second the running back coach run that Notre Dame's been on, from Lance Taylor to Dylan McCullough to Jawan Sider? Hats off to those 3 hires. But yeah, I mean, you're talking best of the best at running backs coach, in the country. So yeah, Javian Osborne, Notre Dame looks like they're going to take a couple running backs. They could seriously get Javian Osborne and flip Messiah Mickens, another highly touted running back he's committed to Penn State, where Sider obviously came from. I mean, look, it's not over, all those things. Yeah, I know, I get it. But Notre Dame, the way they're recruiting the running back position right now, it's been very impressive.